What's up, everybody? Welcome to Under the Arc Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs, and today we're going to talk about Missouri's loss at Florida, 24-17. Before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. Guys, Missouri lost a game it had no business losing, and yet no one's that surprised. And that is kind of the biggest telltale sign for how the season's going and the direction the program is trending right now. As for this game, you start with Brady Cook. You know he's not going to be the reason you win football games in SEC play. You ask him to just not be the reason that you lose. He was on Saturday. He had 2 interceptions, one a pick six, the other in the red zone. I think it's fair to call that a 10-point swing. You'd lose by 7. There's 10-point swing on just 2 terrible throws. Yeah, it's just inexcusable. Especially in the red zone, when you know that you just have a quarterback who does not throw the football very well. Even when he throws it and it's caught, typically receivers are having to slow down or adjust their routes. So in the red zone, yeah, you don't want to put the ball in his hands. Yet Missouri did it. This is something where it's tough to get too mad at Brady Cook. That seems counterintuitive, with him being a big chunk of the reason Missouri lost. But he's doing his very best. No one doubts his efforts. No one doubts his desire. And everyone knows that the effort, or the ability is just not there. The fault goes to Drink. It's year 3 of the football program, and you can't get anybody better than that. I know you went after all these guys in the transfer portal. We see why. But you got to land somebody. But that's another conversation. He was the reason that Missouri lost, and it was bad. Yes, the drive at the end of the game, was there PI on that 4th down? Yeah, probably. As David pointed out, on that call and the others where there may have been contact with receivers, you're not getting that call at the Swamp. It's not happening. So, fair or not, you have to account for that. As far as the rest of the offense, the running game was weird. There were big chunk plays, so the final statistics don't look that bad. Nate Pete had a career day. But how many plays were just blown up in the backfield? How much better would the stats have looked for Pete on his career day if he didn't get tackled behind the line so many times? Right now, Missouri can run off left tackle or sweep to the left. That's it. That continued. We did not see as many plays with Armand Membo as the extra offensive lineman out there. I'm not quite sure what was going on there. He was wearing a different number. We think an equipment issue. That's just going off reading Power Mizzou, honestly. Maybe that was a factor. I don't know. I would have liked to seen him out there more. I think he's going to be a factor. I think he can be a factor this year. When you're looking at the offense, you have to look at Connor Tollison as well. And with his size, he's just overmatched physically. He is going against defensive tackles who weigh 30, 40 pounds more than him. That 21, I think it was for Florida. I forget his name. That's not a fair matchup for Connor Tollison. And partially because he's new to it, freshman, and partially because he knows he's struggling, I think the game is just too fast for him right now. I think there's panic, and I think we saw a little bit of that with the snap where Brady Cook had gone up to call an audible, and then Tollison snapped it to nobody in particular. I will say credit Brady Cook on that play for being able to go get the ball, pick it up, having the wherewithal to take a look down the field just to see if, with the chaos of such a screwed up play, someone didn't leak down the football field, and then making sure there wasn't, and then getting the ball out of bounds. No yard lossage there. So that was an impressive play. Coach Drink has no confidence in the offensive line. We know that. Further confirmation came on a 4th down and 2 empty formation, empty backfield. All right, we're throwing because we know we can't run. It's a problem. I don't know. That's just ridiculous. You look at the halftime stats of this football game, and it's incredible. Looking at it, Florida had four completed passes. They had 3 first downs, 65 yards of total offense. The time of possession was more than 2-1 in Missouri's favor, and yet it was tied 10-10. That is inexplicable. It's almost impossible, and yet Missouri found a way to do that. You can't be tied with that. The offense just has to do better. At that point, the way the game had played out, there's no reason for Missouri to lose the football game. And yet, everybody, I think, expected fully that Missouri would find a way to lose, which they did. Learning to win it's a talent. It is a skill that you have to develop. My wife is a Nebraska fan. They've just gone through this. They finally won a close game after losing 400 close games in a row under Scott Frost. It took them firing their coach. Is Missouri headed that direction? I don't know. We'll see. But, things are trending the wrong way. Fast. Part of this is because Missouri shows up unprepared, week in and week out. Look at Missouri's 3 road games, because the road games are where it's even more noticeable. Missouri got a field goal in the opening drive against Kansas State. I will grant you that. But after that, and then against Auburn, 14 points. And then against Florida, you're just spotting the team points. And Missouri shows the resilience and actually talent to come back, but it's too big of a hole. They can't come back all the way. So if they can actually get off to a decent start, they might start winning some of these games. But something has to change when it comes to game week preparations. Because, my gosh, this team comes out looking like they prepared for plan A, and the other team comes out with plan B. Drink has them totally unprepared. And I don't know if that is just game week prep in terms of scheme, just being a disaster, or if there's a lack of focus or what. But something has to change there, because you may have a divide building here. We saw it in 2015 when the defense was elite, better than this defense, and the offense was, dare I say it, worse than this year's offense. That locker room was not good. There was a divide. The defense was like, come on, offense, do anything. Remember, Missouri went down to Georgia and gave up 9 points. It was a loss because they only scored 6. That was kind of the tipping point, I think, where it just fell apart. And this team may be heading in that direction fast, because the offense is just, they're not carrying their weight. The defense is just going to run out of motivation, run out of effort, and say, what's the point? It doesn't matter. Our offense will not score, so why bother? That's going to happen to an extent if this doesn't change. It's disappointing to see Missouri sitting at 2-4, but here they are. I think a lot of people thought this might happen. It's been frustrating because take a look at what's going on. If Harrison Mevis hits a chip shot field goal and Brady Cook doesn't throw 2 interceptions, Missouri's at 4-2. And we're playing what ifs, I understand. But then Missouri's sitting at 2-1 in the conference, and they're 4-2 overall. And they're probably not ranked or anything, but at least they think, all right, we can do this. As it is, it's time to look to the future. Mekhi Miller had some very nice catches late in the game. I think he needs to play more, especially as banged up as the wide receiver room appears to be. Luther Burden is hurt. He may be out for an extended period. Dominic Lovett's not 100%. Barrett Bannister did not play. Get Mekhi Miller in there. Get him reps. Speaking of, Sam Horn. I think at this point you have to play him some. I know a bye week is not enough to, it's extra time, but it may not be enough to get him fully ready. He has to play some. Because if Brady Cook is your starting quarterback in 2023, Drinkwitz is getting fired. The team won't be good enough. I'd bet that right now. Anyway, that's enough about this game. Missouri loses 24-17. Another frustrating loss. It's bye week time for Missouri, but hey, the blue season is about to kick off. So keep tuned here to Under the Arc Sports for that. And hey, Mizzou basketball coming up soon too. Thanks for checking out this video. See you guys next time.